Hello, Dr. Abrahams and the rest of my Critical Pedagogy 2 class. I'm Elizabeth Raquel Frasciello, although most of you probably know me as Busy. I am 19 years old and currently a sophomore music education major at Westminster Choir College. There I am, front of the academic catalog. I was born in Montvale, New Jersey, and I've lived in the same house my entire life. I live with my dad, Julio, my mom, Marley, and my 3 older siblings, Julia, Chris, and Mimi. I'm the baby of the family, and my mom did want 6 kids, but once I was born, they saw me and they said, all right, that's it. She's perfect. Don't really need any more. My mom will say it's because I insisted on being the baby, but I'm fairly certain that my theory is correct. I'm a first-generation American, and I'm really proud of my heritage. Mr. Giulio Frasciello, my dad. My father grew up in a small town in Campania, Italy. He lived on a farm with his family, and they had a lot of economic struggles, so they moved to America, to hopefully find a better life for themselves, and they brought with them a lot of culture, and they still follow a lot of the same traditions that they did back in Italy. These are my Italian grandparents, Annunziata and Giorgio, or as I say, Grandpa George and Grandma Nancy. This is my mom, Marley. I usually call her mamãe because it's the Portuguese way to say mom. Although my mom makes incredible Italian food, she's in fact from Brazil. Her family came to America when she was about 9 years old, and she grew up in North Jersey, like one town over from where I live. We usually don't make traditional Brazilian meals all the time, but for holidays or birthdays, we do. I think the one regret that I have being a first-generation American is that I never learned any Italian or Portuguese, and I would love to be able to speak another language, even 2. But I do know a couple things from each language. At every birthday party, we sing happy birthday first in English and then in Portuguese. It's really funny because my friends usually get ridiculously confused, but now a couple of them have, been going to my family parties for so long that they can even join in. As I said, I have 3 siblings. My oldest sister is Julia Nunziatina, and she's like 6 years older than me. She's kind of the brains of the family. Then I have Christopher Giorgio. He's 4 years older than me, and he's very athletic. Although he does sing, he sings in church choir with me whenever we go home. And last but definitely not least is my best friend in the whole world, Miriam Pereira. She's older sister by 2 years, and we are the closest siblings you'll probably ever meet. We shared a room up until my sister Julia moved out and went to college, because then Mimi took her room down the hall. My parents let me keep the extra bed in my room just in case I wanted Mimi to sleep over, and we just thought that was ridiculously silly because we usually share a bed anyway. I have a few pets. I feel like I should mention them because they're part of my family. We have a cat, Tucker. Yes, boy name. In fact, a female cat. We like to mix it up, I guess. And I also have chickens. We never need to buy eggs anymore. But no, we don't live on a farm. There's my cat, Tucker. And my chickens. I know I talked a lot about my family, but I really think that they're the most important people in my life, and I appreciate them so much, and I love them, and they really have shaped a lot of who I am. So I feel that it was important that I include, my relationships with them and how my culture is a big part of my life. So I think that now would be an appropriate time for a quick family album. Growing up, I participated in a lot of different activities and sports. I played softball, a little bit of basketball, which didn't go so well, and swim team and cheerleading, and of course music. I don't remember exactly when I started singing, but I think it began in church. My oldest memory of performing in choral music was at the Christmas nativity performance that we put on at my church every year. And I had, one of the lead roles. I was the angel Gabriel. And since then, I have performed every year Christmas Eve at church, and first in the children's choir. And now when I'm at home, I'm a weekly member of the choir. I started in high school, and my junior and senior year of high school, I started cantering. In addition to my church choir, I've always been a member of my school choir starting in second grade. We started to, was the first year you can be in the official choir. So I joined, and I've been in choir ever since. In 8th grade, in 7th and 8th grade, I was in the select choir at my middle school. And in high school, I was a member of the chamber choir and other small ensembles, including a cappella groups or madrigal groups. And I was in honors music my senior year. Unfortunately, our program at school wasn't really that strict. Music wasn't a main focus at my school, so it wasn't really budgeted well, and unfortunately, my education really wasn't that great. I did join the county choir and the Region 1 choir in New Jersey, so that kind of gave me a better experience of what a real choir could accomplish with the means and the commitment. So I take most of my music education ideas from the choral experience I had with the county and region choir. But I think that I take just as much education from what I experienced in high school, middle school, and even elementary school. Seeing that I wasn't getting the education that I needed and that I wanted has been what inspires me most to be a music educator. I feel like I want to give someone else that experience and that opportunity that I really didn't have so much of. And looking back, I was thinking, well, maybe they thought that I was too young to learn something, whatever it might be. And that's where I get a lot of my, teaching philosophy from, is that you really can teach young children a lot about music, more so than you might think. This was fun. Thought it was going to be a little weird telling you all about myself for a couple minutes, but I really felt like you listened. Like you heard me and you understood me a little bit better. Now, gosh, I feel like I could talk to you about anything.